right, Mr. Mike, welcome back to my channel. The last time you were on my channel, we were talking about the fiance visa and the spousal visa. But most of my subscribers are not married, but they're in a relationship with a Filipina, and they want their Filipina to go to the United States or parts of Europe to visit them. So I know this is really a tricky situation for us Filipinos because it's very difficult for us to get a tourist visa.
A single Filipina
Uh-huh.
has no chance, period. They really don't have any chance unless they have a lot of money, they have a really good job that they have to come back to, they have parents and relatives, they own their own home here in the Philippines, then they have a chance. But if they're single, even then, the chances of that happening are slim to none.
Slim to none. But
Yeah.
it's not impossible. You just have to
Everything's
convince.
Yeah, everything's possible. But
Yeah, convince the consul that you are coming back.
Right.
Oh, okay.
And that's not the easiest thing in the world, If you don't have any reason to come back, well, gee, I don't have any money and I'm living in this boarding house, but my boyfriend wants me to come and he'll support me. That doesn't fly.
So what are the usual requirements that are asked by the embassy?
You got to have a passport.
Mhm.
You have to have MBI. You have to have your birth certificate, a PSA birth certificate.
Okay. One question that they're asking, like, do you need to show money to them, to the
No.
embassy? Because there's like, is there like a show money? Like, do you have to be carrying?
No, that's a fake deal if I ever heard of one.
Like you have to show.
The embassy wants to see that you have enough money to pay for your trip, et cetera, et cetera. But you
Okay.
don't have to have a certain amount of money walking there saying, well, I got this money here in my hand. That's how the girls get the money. They tell the guy, I went to the airport with a ticket you sent me, and they want $5,000 show money. Send it to me right away.
Right. So there's no such.
There's no such thing. No.
Okay.
Yeah. But they do want to know that you have enough money to take care of yourself when you get there.
Okay. So you need to show your bank statement or your
Bank statements,
or
6 months worth.
okay.
Yeah.
And if you have a job, you need to show your certificate of employment.
And employment and a letter from your employer stating that he wants you back.
Right. And
Yeah.
you're only allowed to be away from the office from this day till this
That's
day.
exactly right. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's specific.
Mm-hmm.
And why are you going to the U.S.? If you tell them, I'm going to go visit my boyfriend, that's an automatic denial. They're going to tell you, file a fiance visa.
But they're only boyfriends and girlfriends. They're just
Yeah.
getting to know each other. They're not engaged
They
yet.
know what you're going to do. They know you're going to get to the U.S. and marry the guy and try and stay. That's what they do all the time.
Oh, okay. So if you're in a relationship with a foreigner, then it's an automatic no, denial.
If you tell them you're going to go visit your boyfriend, it's a pretty much, I've never had one that didn't, denial.
Okay. Okay. What else, Mr. Mike? Because I'm, listing everything down right now. But I don't really need that one because I already passed. I already got the 10-year multiple entry.
You got away.
I got away.
Yeah.
And I didn't
Hey,
have
she
to.
got away with it.
Oh
but-
yeah, but I'm easy to locate. I cannot just disappear. Maybe that's one of the reasons why the embassy can.
Yeah. They got her wanted poster up everywhere.
Yeah.
But anyway, but still, no matter what, you're never guaranteed you're going to get that visa because when you fill out the online form, the DS-160, when you file for the appointment
Right.
and they give you that number,
Right.
it says all over that appointment, do not bring this letter with you to the embassy. Do not bring this letter with you to the embassy. The reason they don't want you to bring that letter to the embassy is because you put information on that letter, right?
Right.
They have it. They don't want it where you can see it and say, oh, yeah, I said this, I said this.
Ah.
They're looking for fraud that way, see? So they don't want you to bring it.
Because if you're telling the truth, you don't really need.
You don't need it. if
You
you're
don't
telling
need
the
it.
truth.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't bring anything.
They're looking for a slight mistake and you're done.
Okay, so never tell the consul or the embassy that you're going to visit your boyfriend because then it's pretty
Ooh.
much like an automatic denial.
Pretty much.
But
Now,
what if you have plenty of money and you have a very promising job here in the Philippines? Is it a guarantee that you'll get a tourist visa?
the general of the Philippine National Police was denied.
What? Really?
Yeah, what's his name? Bozo or Bungo or some?
Bongo.
He was denied. He's a police officer. Everything, money and everything. They denied him. They deny people left and right. I mean, how they denied my sister-in-law because she was a 60, 58, 59-year-old woman, single, who worked for the mayor for 30 years here in Cebu. 30 years. Very highly respected woman. She ran the LTO.
Okay.
Yeah, she was the chief. They turned her down. Why? Because we know what you're going to do. You're going to go to the United States and get a job because you got all these requirements.
And now she's overqualified. That's why they denied
Yeah,
her.
that's why they denied her.
Is there like a black and white reasons for them? Because
No,
they don't explain why you got
it's all gray. That's the problem. You may get it, you may not.
the US is very strict when it comes to tourists. But is it the same thing with European countries? Because I heard that some of them are maybe more lenient.
I think the British are worse.
They're worse in what way?
They're worse every way. And now that's what my staff in the office tells me. They don't grant them.
They don't?
They don't like to grant them. No, it's all up to the discretion of that one guy at the embassy in Manila.
Okay. Depending on his mood.
I got drunk last night and I got a hangover. You're denied.
Ian too?
That's what I think. They just deny them for the hell. They don't even look at your documents most of the time.
Right.
But they've already got them,
And
most of it. You know, they've got the stuff you uploaded
okay.
and the
Do they have
DS-160.
Do they have the results already, or do they already have the?
They've got it all sitting right in front of them.
So before you even enter the embassy for your interview, most probably they already have the answer.
Already denied before you get to the.
Okay, or otherwise you're like a 50-50.
Or they're going to ask,
Yeah.
well, let's find out. Maybe there's something to this person,
Okay.
We do tourist visas, but we do them for people that are established business people like that. And 99% of the time, we get them.
Okay.
If we don't, we refund the fee.
Oh, so it's almost like a
Yeah, but not for the tourist
Tourist
visa
visa.
for a single person. For that kind, we don't, because like I tell these guys, oh, I wanna apply for my girlfriend anyway. I know there's a good chance, but I want to apply anyway. Well, I will guarantee you, I can make a guarantee for you. What's that? She's not going to get it, and we're going to keep your money.
So you're also upfront in saying that most probably your girlfriend is never gonna get the visa.
Yeah, if you have to explain that to these guys up front, because can you imagine how you'd feel if you walked in and paid for something and you got nothing?
True.
We don't need the money that bad where we got to do that to people.
So what's the other option for them? Because obviously they're not engaged. They cannot. They're here for a reason because they're retiring here. They don't want to go back to the US and get married there.
They can do a fiance visa. They don't have to be engaged. They
Oh, okay. So even if they're not engaged, they can still apply for the
can
fiance
say they're engaged. I file a fiance visa for her. She's my girlfriend.
at that time.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you're
And-
wife for 28 years. So tourist visa, kind of very tricky. It's very, very low success rate. It depends on the status of the girl, right? If she's,
Oh, yeah.
Because if she's from the province and then no job, no money, or just kind of
visa.
no, it's pretty much most probably no
No
visa.
visa. No visa. It ain't going to happen.
Okay, for a tourist visa. But if they apply for a fiance visa, does the guy,
Oh,
need to be in the U.S. when they?
That's 100% guaranteed.
Oh,
There's no way around that. We will get that approved.
but let's say, does he need to go back to the U.S. to apply for the K-1, or can he do that while he's here?
Oh, no. Here's how that works.
Okay.
The client walks into our office
Mm-hmm.
and he signs up there.
Right.
Or he calls me on the phone from the United States and he signs up there. He gives us his credit card. We run his credit card. We get the contact information for the girl, get the contact information for the guy. And within about an hour, hour and a half, we've contacted the girl already with what she needs to bring and what she needs to do. And the girls in the office work with her because the reason I like to have that, I recommend always that the girl come to the office once.
Okay.
So she meets who she's going to work with. I don't work with the girls, okay?
Why not?
They don't understand my English.
Okay.
I talk too fast. I use too much slang. And believe me, if I look at I can tell you all the slang. Tell ya? What's tell ya? And you shoulda? What's a shoulda? What's a woulda? You know, what kind of a tree is that? So they come to the office, they meet the ladies, they become friends. And they,
Okay.
believe me, they're close.
Yeah.
They see that we're licensed. They see all the documentation. Ah,
Okay.
these guys are real. They're not on somebody's back kitchen table. And so once they do that, we collect their biographic information. We get his biographic information. We get her documents. We get his documents. We authenticate and verify everything. And once that's done, we prepare the paperwork.
Okay.
Now, he's in the U.S. or he's in here.
Okay.
Either way,
Either way, they can do both.
if he's here, he signs the documents
Okay.
and attaches a check, and we FedEx it to the processing center.
Okay.
If he's in the United States, we FedEx it to him directly, and then he calls us on the phone, and we walk him through the signing process over the phone.
Okay.
Now, that's not a difficult process. That's a piece of cake. But if the guy should miss a signature, whose fault is that?
It's gonna be you.
It's mine.
Yeah. Because you're supposed
And I ain't going for that business. So
right.
sometimes it's, oh, I can do it. No, you can't. Just wait till we call. It's only 3 signatures, for God's sake. But anyway,
Right. Right.
and then the ladies explain to him what's going to come up next.
Okay.
Now, after he files the paperwork, we're waiting and waiting and waiting. All of a sudden, an approval notice comes. Oh, boy.
Then
I'm approved. I got a visa. Wow, whoopee. No, you don't. It doesn't work that way. The paperwork was approved.
okay.
Okay?
But it doesn't mean to say it's a guaranteed visa already.
No.
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 Okay.
Okay, you got to go down to the bank and pay the non-immigrant visa fee, which is $260 right now.
$260. Okay.
Okay. Once she pays that, she gets a receipt. And then we log on, or she can log on and make an appointment for her embassy interview.
Okay.
7 to 10 days before that embassy interview, she has an interview with the medical
Medical.
and St. Luke's.
Oh, okay. And this is for the K1. Just mind you guys, because some guys got scammed. That, oh, my girlfriend is applying for a tourist visa and she needs a medical interview. But it's like, no, I don't know.
No.
It's for a K1 visa or spousal, right?
Yep. That medical is also an interview.
What are you gonna trying to?
They're asking her questions. They're looking at her wrist. Do you have scars on your wrist where she tried to cut her wrist? If you do, that's an automatic psychiatric evaluation, by the way.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah, they really do. So they ask her questions, they talk to her, and they check her out, all the stuff they do, what
Making
doctors
sure
do.
she's not a carrier of some deadly disease and entering the United States. Okay.
And then after that, 7 to 10 days later, she can go to the embassy interview,
Okay.
the dreaded embassy interview. Before she went to the medical, the
Mm-hmm.
ladies in the office sat down with her and trained her for these interviews.
Okay.
Now, they didn't teach her how to lie or be evasive or anything like that, but they
Just
trained
to prepare how to answer.
how to act and how to interface
Right.
and how not to lie and how not to answer questions if she doesn't know what they ask.
Right.
That's a frequent thing that they do.
Mhm.
Yeah, that girl goes to the embassy, she's prepared,
Mhm.
she's comfortable.
Okay.
And our interviews normally last less than 6 minutes. Now, they're in the embassy all day long.
Oh yeah. What's there already?
Once they get in with the interview, it's about 6 minutes.
Okay.
We had one gal that went in there and they paged her and paged her and paged her. I was sitting there, by the way, at that time.
At the embassy?
Yeah, they paged her and paged her and paged her. And finally, this gal got up. It must be me. And she walked in there.
Uh-huh.
And this gal says, "Honey child, y'all ever use recreational drugs?" And the girl said, "Yes."
Holy.
They always say yes.
Oh no.
And they failed her right on the spot. Filipinos have trouble with accent anyway, right?
Yeah, learn how to say no. Or if you don't know the answer, like, pardon me, or can you repeat that? Because Filipinos are so afraid to ask questions.
Get me a translator.
It's like, oh,
That's what
yeah.
they're supposed to ask.
Yes, it's like, oh my goodness gracious. There's another step.
You got to go to CFO,
Yeah. What is that CFO, Mr. Mike? Because,
Commission on Filipinos Overseas.
yeah. And why do they do that? Is it like to,
They're trying to explain to her what to do if the guy beats her, how to call 911 and all the other stuff that goes with it. Have to have that certificate in the passport, and then they can buy a ticket,
oh,
and then they
okay.
can leave.
Okay, so compared to the tourist visa to K1, K1 is more likely guaranteed, 100% guaranteed.
It's 100% unless somebody's lying or do something crooked, dishonest. He would have to be a sex offender,
Oh.
multiple filer
Mm-hmm.
for more than two.
Okay.
Uh,
What about
she
financial?
lied on something, but she would never get to the embassy even. So,
What about financial capability for the guy?
oh, that's very important
It is.
for the guy to bring a wife or a girlfriend to marry.
Mm-hmm.
If he has no dependents and she has no children,
Mm-hmm.
he has to have a guaranteed income that shows on a federal tax return 25,500 US dollars. But they don't, the girl does not have to marry him when she comes to US.
Okay.
She signs an affidavit,
Right.
okay? It's notarized. He
Right.
does and she does. But they intend to marry upon her arrival in the United States.
Okay.
We do the affidavit, so we know. But they don't have to get married.
Mm-hmm.
She can say, oh, I want to go home, as long as she goes home within the 90 days. She can't marry anybody else.
Oh, I was just gonna ask. Like,
I
she's
knew you were going to ask that.
She's already in the U.S. Why don't? What if she says, like, I'm just gonna marry someone else?
She meets another guy.
He looks fine.
That's a big no-no.
That's a big no-no.
Yeah.
Oh. Because this guy, this particular guy, petitioned her.
Yeah.
So if she doesn't want to marry him, she can't marry a different guy.
Yeah.
And never, ever, ever, ever lie to the
Oh, no.
USCIS, because I think before they ask the question, they already know the answer.
They know the answer. Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they know what you're going to say anyway. So,
Right.
yeah.
But yes, guys, if you need any visa services when it comes to spousal K1 or even tourist, just maybe call Mr. Mike. He's here in Ayala, Cebu at level 4 Ayala Business Park. And guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. I'll be back in 3 more days with something fresh for you to consider. So that's it for today, and bye for now. If you think about it, I'm kind of like a teacher, providing knowledge about the Philippines twice a week. My course covers many different subjects, including the psychology of dealing with the local inhabitants, the mathematics of constructing a workable budget, and even biology with the sometimes bizarre mating habits of the Filipina. All I ask for this higher education is that you subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell so you're never late for class, and check out my Patreon page for extra content and exclusive features. And while you're waiting for your next lesson, it might be a good idea to study the other course material, because after grading your last exam, I'm afraid I'm gonna need you to stay after class for a little cramming session. Are you ready?